Howdy everyone, Pete Daddy here. It's Friday and we've been given another new objective player to grind for. It's this FUT Freeze or Shapeshifters or Futmas, whatever they want to call it, Kevin Volland. Now he was a striker, but he's been frozen or shifted or something, and now he's a center back. But he does have some pretty nice stats, and I wanted to go over the best way, the fastest way, let you know the team to use to get this one done as quick as possible. But before we begin, if you are new here, please make sure to subscribe down below. I'd really appreciate it. So this Volland has 5 parts, and when I first saw this card, I was kind of like, I was on live stream, and it's kind of like, why? You know, I guess part of it is just kind of weird to think about Volland as a center back, but he does have some pretty good stats overall. The only thing I don't like about him is his height. I tend to like more imposing center backs that are like 6'2", 6'3". Now he's not as short as that Jesus Navas that was like 5'8". Volland's like 5'10" or 5'11". I don't remember exactly, so it's not as bad as that. And there are some good examples of center backs that are able to compete. Like Cannavaro is a good one that can use that and doesn't have the best height in the world, but he does have really good stats overall, so let's go over what all you need to do. The first part is defensive delivery, and that is assist 3 goals using defenders in the live FUT Friendly Managerial Masterpiece. So we're in Managerial Masterpiece again. That's where you have a 77 squad rating restriction, so you can't just take whatever you want. You got to be smart with what you take in, with at least 8 Ligue 1 players in your starting squad. So we will have to have 8 Ligue 1 players in our starting squad and assist 3 goals with defenders. Notice on this one that it does not have a games requirement, so if you're having any trouble with this, then try to message your opponent before the match, say, hey, can I just get my 3 goals with assist? And while you're at it, combine it with this one, assist 4 goals with crosses using Ligue 1 players in the live FUT Friendly Managerial Masterpiece. So what I want you to notice, though, is this first one is just defenders, not Ligue 1. So you could use Ferland Mendy, you could use Alphonso Davies, you could use Trent Alexander-Arnold, you can use whatever defender you want for this one. But notice that the crosses one is with a Ligue 1 player. So if you want to combine these, which is what I would recommend, you could message your opponent before the match, say, hey, can I get 4 assists? And then if you use your defender, say, let me just use a well-known Ligue 1 defender, Kenny Lala. He's been a FIFA legend. Kenny Lala is a right back. I think he comes out as a right wing back, but he's a right back. Take him into the box, or take him outside of the box. Send in 4 crosses. That'll be 4 assists or 3 assists with a defender, and the 4 assists with crosses. And that one's done and over with, and you don't have to think about it anymore. Now you certainly can do it in the run of play. Low-driven crosses work really well, and that's where you hold in the RB R1 button, and while you're powering up your cross. And you can certainly hoof in other crosses. Now, one thing I always like to point out: corners do not count as crosses. If you score from a direct corner, that does not count as a cross. So just kind of keep that in mind. You can certainly get this done. I'm just saying the easiest would probably be just message your opponent, trade off, because you can combine these. You can have the assist coming from, like I said, Kenny Lala, or who's another one? Atal. If you have an Atal right back, you can make your assist from him, and that's going to count towards both of these objectives, and you'll be done with both of these. Now the next one, this is our main grind, and another reason I like this Volland, we have less of a grind for Volland than we have been having for these cards. Like Balassi was 15 matches we had to play. For Volland, we only have to play a minimum of 8 matches. So, and there is a win condition coming up, but the minimum you have to play is 8 matches, which is nice. So at least that makes it a little bit less of a grind than what we've been having from these. But it is score in 8 separate matches using German players. Now this makes it a little bit of a challenge because there aren't that many, I mean, even just period and entire of Ligue 1, not a lot of German players in Ligue 1. There's Volland, there's Draxler, and then there's not a whole lot else. So we'll have to kind of pick and choose what we use in our team, and I've got some plans for that, and I'll share that with you when we get to our team selection. But that is the main grind. Score in 8 separate matches using German players. So that's the hardest part there. It's just this one overall, just making sure we're going to bang in some goals with our German players. So if you're someone that's going to try to play with lone Mbappe and he's banging in all of your goals, and then you get 2 goals with Neymar, now it's going to be hard to put Mbappe and Neymar into a team with the rating restriction. Just saying in theory, say you scored 5 goals, 3 with Mbappe, 2 with Neymar, then that didn't help you at all towards this objective. So just keep that in mind on that. Now we get another one. Score 2 headers using Ligue players in the live FUT Friendly. Now this is another one that we would combine. We can do all 3 of these: defensive delivery, crossing charm, and helpful heading, just by messaging our opponent before the match. So again, send in those 4 crosses. You make sure at least 2 of them are from headers. Now, cross assists do count if you do that volley goal in, but just try to do like a lofted header, like maybe hold in the LB button, L1 button to get some loft on your cross to try to make sure you get a header in. So, and this has to be with a Ligue 1 player, so make sure you're banging in that header with a Ligue 1 player. Again, you certainly can knock it out through just a normal course of play, but it just makes life easier. You know, sometimes, because on this next one, just check this one out while we're at it. Winning ways: win 5 matches in the live FUT Friendly. So as long as you win 5 out of 8, you can play a minimum of 8. But if you've played your 8 matches and you've only won 3 of them, then you have to play at least 2 more to get the win condition. So just kind of keep that in mind. And then also, if you played 8 of them but you didn't score with German players, then you're going to have to continue to play as well. So we're really going to have to think about what German players we use, and I'll let you know what I'm going to do on that. But just to get back to this one, you can complete defensive delivery, crossing charm, and helpful heading in 1 match, just by messaging your opponent, or, you know, like I said, through the normal run of play. But what I tend to run into is, say I've got a 2-goal lead, I'm like, okay, let me just start focusing on crosses and getting headers. I tend to just start hoofing in crosses. I'm not playing very well, and then maybe I give up 2 other goals on the other side. Now it's I'm trying to chase the win. And it's not the worst thing in the world. I'm just saying it may be more helpful just to knock these 3 out, trying to help each other out and just get that taken care of. And remember, guys, these are friendlies. I've been amazed at our community during icon swaps, which is also a friendly, played in a different friendly called One League. But still, a Managerial Masterpiece, when I was grinding for Balassi this week, people are still playing those the full 90. I'd be up 3 or 4 goals. People will not leave those. But part of it is because of these. EA is encouraging us on these to score in multiple matches and have to kind of play them out. But again, let's help each other out as a community. These are friendlies. We did amazing on icon swaps. Let's just keep it up for Managerial Masterpiece 2. So let me show you the team I am going to use that I recommend completing this with. And I've got a couple different options here for you. Or I guess first off, let's take a look at Volland's stats so you see what we're playing for. And one thing I'll point out right away, some of the Ligue 1 players, some of the German players are more expensive right now. So you might want to wait. You know, right now it's kind of weekend league time. Unless you're trying to get Volland into your weekend league team, wait until Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. These cards are going to come down in price. So, you know, I wouldn't worry necessarily about going crazy buying these players right at the moment. But let's take a look at Volland's stats real quick, and it's pretty nice. And also remember that Volland is German. So let me just do that real quick. I think this would be a good exercise here. Let me just change this to center back, show you some of the options you have for linking to Volland for just outside of Ligue 1. So here is the Volland. But there is this Klosterman Road to the Finals card that is a really strong card. 87 pace, you know, and he's 6'2". And that's what I'd recommend. If you do go with Volland, try to pair him with someone who is a little taller, like 6'2", 6'3". It's just nice having at least one center back with that imposing presence that can kind of, you know, just with their body model and game, be in the way, create distractions. And then there's another card that some of you may have who are, if you're like me, are into completing player objectives, this Baumgartel. He is a nice card as well that's going to be able to give you a German link, and then maybe you can link with some of the other Eredivisie cards. There is one other link I wanted to point out. Volland is plays for Monaco. Let me get that one up. So Monaco, actually a new Monaco card actually came out during FUT Freeze. This Golovin right back would be a nice link for that for Volland if you need a green link for Volland. So this is a nice right back card. It's got high work rates. I'd probably recommend putting a shadow on him. Would make him 95 acceleration, 99 sprint speed. Has some decent defending stats, you know, decent overall stats, good passing, good agility. And another player, FIFA 20 legend that plays for Monaco is this, let me get there, striker Ben Yedder. If you're still loving Ben Yedder, now we don't see him nearly as much as we were seeing him in FIFA 20. However, if you still love Ben Yedder, then that's another strong link you'd have. So some Monaco links that you can work in as well. But let's get back to Volland. Let me probably just get him from right here. Okay, yeah, there he was. So this card right here for the Volland. 85 acceleration, 79 sprint speed. I would probably put a shadow on him. I just want to max out his pace, 95 acceleration, 89 sprint speed. He has good agility, good balance, good overall everything, and a good defense. I mean, it's just good stats all over, really good passing. You could even put this Volland at CDM if you wanted to. I mean, he certainly could do a job for you. You wouldn't want to ask him to bring in any goals, but, you know, it's just a pure CDM. He would be fine in that role as well. So just a very nice Volland overall. I definitely recommend completing him. Even if you're not planning on putting them in your starting team, we don't know what's going to come next with icon swaps. This is another first owner Ligue 1 card we can have that would help out a lot. So definitely a nice card. So I'd recommend completing them for sure. Well, let's go over who I am including in my team. And for my German goals, this is what I'm recommending. Getting Leroy Sané. He plays really well. I've used him on different objective challenges. He's got amazing pace. He's going to be able to get in behind. He's got good dribbling overall. And he's got good shooting, you know, so you can really boost him up nicely. And you can have a green link with this Alphonso Davies. So remember that we only have to have 8 Ligue 1 players in our starting team, but we have to bang in some German goals. So I'm recommending Sané. He actually has the most pace of any German player, I believe of all. I believe with all cards, I believe the Sané has the most pace. So I recommend this one. I'm going to play him as a striker in a 4-4-2, second variation. Let him be able to get in behind, try to get some easy goals for us. But we're going to offer him some support. I want to talk a little bit first about the German ones because that's the main grind. We have to score in 8 separate matches with German players. So I'm also going to recommend using this Julian Draxler. I'm going to play him as my two-way midfielder, and I do tend to end up banging in some goals. However, say it's the first half and I have not banged in a goal with Sané, I'm going to change my tactics. I'm going to put Sané and Draxler at striker, try to get them to get some goals. And then on the bench, we've got a couple super subs that I think could be handy. Because remember, on Managerial Masterpiece, let me just state this real quick. Notice our squad rating is 77. That's the max you can have is a 77 rating. So say we want to put Mbappe into this team, that makes the squad immediately 79 rated. Even if we try to put Mbappe in for Sané, that makes it a 78 rated team. So you're really restricted with what you can do. Now what you can have is 3 silver players. And these 2 German silver cards, Diawusi and Manu, have 90 pace and 92 pace respectively. I paid 500 coins for Diawusi and I played 500 coins for Manu. And so those are 2 other Germans that I could bring off the bench. You know, if it's just like the 60th minute, I have not scored a goal with the German, I'm just going to throw everything out there. I also got this Waldschmidt. There's just not a lot of pacey German players that are low rated. I'll give one other shout out. If you have Timo Werner, he would also work nicely for this. You know, maybe you have to get some Chelsea links to get him linked in, or maybe get him with Draxler and have him on 8 chemistry. But that's another shout out to someone like Timo Werner. I just prefer Leroy Sané. And also Sané's much, much cheaper. So Waldschmidt is another one. So I've got 3 German substitutes I can bring on. If I'm just desperate, I've got to get that goal. So I recommend doing something like this. Take advantage of your bench slots. And so the other thing I want to point out, make sure you can have 3 silver players. So we've got this Moise Kean, Silver Stars. And I'll focus on something if you do not have this Moise Kean in just a second. But we've got 3 silvers, so we want 3 low-rated silvers, and we want low-rated golds for our subs to bring that squad rating down to 77. So let's focus on the other players I have. I've got Moise Kean. If you've got this Silver Stars Moise Kean, I would very much recommend him. He's a phenomenal card. We're going to use this Jonathan David card, 5-star weak foot. I'm going to play Moise Kean and Sané as my strikers. Jonathan David, and I highly recommend this Gelson Martins. Phenomenal card, 5-star skill moves. You can put a cheap chem style like a Hawk on them, makes them 99 acceleration, 99 sprint speed, 94 agility, 92 balance already built in. Just a phenomenal card for a challenge like this. So I highly recommend getting Gelson Martins. I bought him for 2,300 coins. He may be higher now. Like I said, wait till Monday or Tuesday to start buying these cards if you don't have them. So these are going to be our 4 attackers. And Renato Sanchez, the man, he's just absolute legend. Even with his gold cards, going to be amazing. Probably wait till Monday or Tuesday to buy him. Maybe you already have him. He's only 78 rated, so you maybe have packed him. And I'm going to recommend Draxler as my other midfielder. He's going to be my box-to-box. Now, he doesn't have amazing defending by any means, and I probably would not use him if he wasn't German, but I want to have that extra German player available to me just because that's the main grind. The worst thing that you could have happen is finish a match and not score with a German player. So just keep that in mind. So that's why I really recommend Draxler. On the back line, Davies is going to be great because remember, one of our things we have to do is assist with the defender. So if I haven't done that and I'm not asking someone to trade with me, I can move Davies right here easily, play him in the midfield, be able to pick out some assists with him, no problem. But remember, you also have to get an assist with a Ligue 1. What was it? Ligue 1 cross is what it was. So remember that as well. But, certainly if you're playing them in the run of play, we could bring Gelson Martins in. He's got enough crossing at 76. He could be making that run up the wing, do that cross in to get your cross goal as well, no problem. Dagba, I recommend. He's 75 rating, has decent enough pace to really to man the back line. For our defenders, I'm going with Kimpembe. I know he's 81 rated, but I highly recommend him. He does an amazing job at the back. And pair him with someone like Diallo. You could also use Denayer. You could use Kehrer. Someone like that just to pair those two up. And then for my keeper, I'm using Sergio Rico. I generally default for height on these challenges. So he's 6'5", has better reflexes than the other 6'5" keeper. I think it was Gomes. So I'm going to go with Sergio Rico this time. So that's the team I recommend. Now, if you do not have this Moise Kean, then you're going to have to change things up a little bit. But what I recommend then is getting this 81 Kevin Volland. So you're going to get Volland into the team, but notice as soon as I take him out, then that makes its squad rating 78. So now we have Volland, but now we have another silver spot we can use. So we're going to move a 65 rated silver onto the subs bench. And then what we're going to do, we're going to change Kimpembe to Kehrer. Okay, so then we're going to run this lineup. So if you do not have that Moise Kean, then this is what I'd recommend. Now, Volland has very limited pace, so just keep that in mind. So I would probably put him as a striker and just try to feed him a goal, try to do the best you can with him. And then maybe if he scores a goal or if you get your German goal, maybe you want to bring on a substitute like Kirk, someone like that does have the pace. And so you can see there, like Volland is far superior. If you look at the comparison on the right there, Volland is far superior in everything, shooting, passing, dribbling, everything, except Kirk has 20 more pace, which is a big deal in FIFA. So just keep that in mind. That's something that you could do, or something in that neighborhood that you can certainly do to maybe make them a little more usable to try to get your win conditions as well. But hopefully you have this Moise Kean as well. But that would just give you another option. Now, if you're not worried about scoring German goals, you could certainly do something else to maybe boost the squad up a little bit instead of Volland. But that is the main grind overall, to get your 8 matches with German players scoring. But anyways, boys, I just wanted to go over that, let you know how to complete the Kevin Volland center back as quickly as possible. If you're new here, please make sure to subscribe, check the description, join my Discord server, follow me on Twitter, but I will see you guys soon. Bye.